Oh, there we go. That's the right one. I pressed the right button. There we go. Question is today, is this live chat going to be, is it going to appear or is it not? I suspect, hello Reno, how you doing today? I suspect it's not going to work. I've yet to figure it out. It seems very, very weird and temperamental, so, which is a nuisance at best. Anyway, we will, I will worry about that later, yet again. We'll see what happens. It's supposed to be there, but for some reason I can't figure it out. The URL that I need to paste into the browser chat thing seems to change every time. So trying to get a consistent what would you call it, widget to work is a struggle, and I really got to actually extract my digit and make that work rather than just forgetting about it each time. Obviously, it is indeed Sunday, so hello there. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Just while we're off the top of the bat, hello, my name's Glorious Miniatures. Also, my name is Jolyon. Welcome. We got another Sunday preview today to look at. Hopefully, it has been a big weekend in the world of Warhammer, particularly the old world was thrown up for pre-order. So that's an interesting one. I did get in on it. At the last minute, there was a change of heart. I went with Bretonians. Reno, hello to you. All that stream URL setup is brain melt. It's very frustrating as it seems to go around. Like I've set it up before. And for example, this, other way, that live chat is supposed to be populating with words. And for some reason it's not. And it has worked in the past, so we shall see. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out sometime this century. I have. I'm just going to keep smashing refresh until an article appears, or it appears on my Discord, and I can make the Discord link work. Hopefully, if I select the right thing on Discord. Now the bot is supposed to drop a link to Discord. That bot, Nightbot, is incredibly slow. I don't think it's just me, but we shall see. The new old world models look amazing. I'm very happy. Obviously, some parts of it. The legacy range armies. I think it's 7 armies are getting they are getting PDF rules as I understand it, but they're not getting like continued support. What's up, Lucian? How you doing, you saucy rascal? I'm having a great Sunday. Yeah, I ordered the Bretonian army set. And yeah, so I'm happy. How about yourself? I'm just having a quick look because the Chatterino properties. I just don't understand why it. I just don't understand why it does this. It's supposed to be working, but it's not. So that's just, if I pop old chat out, sounded weird. Now if I just change this to this, and then that, say, okay, I put in the updated URL, and now it's working. Surely I don't have to do that every single stream. It seems the most convoluted waste of space, waste of time to do it that way. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it is working, but it is stuck on top chat. It is supposed to be, like, for me. Oh, hold on, I tell a lie. Maybe it'll change. Well, maybe if enough people like this video and make sure that they have indeed subscribed to it, maybe it'll change. Or maybe it won't. Who knows? I certainly don't know. Maybe it's just frustrating. It's trying to remember how to do everything. It's irksome at best. We'll get there sometime this century. Or not. I don't know. For me, it says live, but for everyone else, it looks like top chat. GW might be hedging their bets to see if it sells well. Yeah, I reckon that's probably what's going to happen. We could very well, the years could shift on a little bit. The vampires might wake up a little bit. The Skaven might stop fighting with each other. The Ogre Kingdoms, I mean, they're far over to the, was it east? They might, who knows? But it's not like a shock. I don't think. We were told that the setting is basically Bretonia and the Empire. That is the setting and the time. So it's not a shock that some of these things aren't included or aren't supported. At least it's not a shock to me. I ordered Bretonian. I wanted to get my hands on the Questing Paladin on foot, because that is a sweet mini. And also the unmounted and mounted Banner Bearer. Unfortunately, I was a bit too slow, so I didn't get those. But I did get the big box set. I almost got the map, but chickened out. And I also think I didn't get the cards, which is probably a bit of a thing, but whatever. The new minis look amazing. I saw a Knights of the Realm unit on FUBA. Yes. Sorry, it took me a second to put those words together. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Also, hopefully, I'm tempted. I might be able to get a 3D printer up and running in February, in which case I'm going to start printing some sweet trebuchets and doing some test selling via my website. I've only just thought about that in the last 5 minutes, so maybe we'll see something on that. I'm just really kind of looking for what you might call... Oh, I see the link. Grail Knights. Yeah, I don't know exactly the color scheme I want to do. Like, do I want all my Grail Knights to be of the same sort of heraldry, or do I want them to be all crazy? We shall see. I have yet to make my mind up. It's not quite 6 o'clock, so we've got a few more minutes before the article may appear, hopefully. In which case, I've got a few more minutes of burbling along. Obviously, I am streaming over on Twitch at twitch.tv/gloriousbadger, where I just do some gaming. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. UK time. Thursday is after our Horus Heresy stream here. So I stream here for about, between half an hour and an hour at 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, I go live over on Twitch for some more gaming. It's mostly sort of probably going to be 7 Days to Die for the majority of the streams, those kind of games. And then Thursday or Friday is basically a game of my choosing. And yeah. Grail Knights. Yeah, no, the Grail Knights with all the... They have all the weird headgear. I could get a deer and a stoat and a weasel. I don't think you get stoats or weasels, unfortunately. You should do. There needs to be better representation for stoats and weasels, and indeed badgers. That would be the best one, of course. So, what else have we done? What else has happened over the weekend? Anything of interest? That's my question. Or fish? Yes, of course, fish. We can't forget the fish. If they're around Moortime conveniently is within the setting. Now, as I understand it, my old world history is not great, But the old world setting is around 220 something. 2,220 something ish, or maybe 2,270 years. Whereas More Time was splattered in 1999. Who knows if More Time still exists in 2,220? Maybe it's more of a splattered town than after it was splattered by the comet. I would like to believe it still exists. That's why I'm going to do some scenery for it once the studio is up and running. I can't wait to do some of that. It makes me very happy thinking about it. Like, way too much, in fact. I hope I can actually get around to doing stuff rather than not. We'll see. But in the meantime, it is 6 o'clock. Now, smash the F5 button. Are we going to get a link? Is a link going to appear? On my Discord, if you have done that, I am slowly in the progress of trying to fix it. But I do have a news bit, which I'm waiting for a Warcom feed. So it basically rips everything from the Warhammer community page and gives us links in my Discord. So I just need to, maybe I should go over to maybe I should just, oh, hello, excuse me, let me go here, quickly hunt it down. We can potentially see if anything juicy has been revealed. I suspect that after yesterday's pre-orders, I don't know if they would do it. Maybe they'll really drop a bomb and say, yo, More Time's also dropping. If only one can only hope and dream. I was going to refresh this page again. Okay, that is yesterday's stuff. Yeah, so the legacy factions, as they're calling them: Lizardmen, Dark Elves, Skaven, Ogre Kingdoms, Vampire Counts, Demons of Chaos, Chaos Dwarves. Now, I can't remember exactly where Lizardmen exist in the old world. Skaven, I think, are fighting each other. Ogre Kingdoms are far out east. Vampire Counts, I think they're napping. Demons of Chaos, I don't know about that. Chaos Dwarves, they're also out east, I believe. Dark Elves, they're north, right? Is that right? Lustria. I love the name Lustria. I don't know why. But also, what we need is Nagash. Dark Elves are north, yeah. So, Old World, yeah. It eludes me. I love it, but also my knowledge of it at the same time is pretty terrible. So, I don't spend all my hours looking into it. I like it when I read it. And I just can't remember it because my memory's terrible. Maybe in the future, maybe this year is the year that I will get my head around the old world lore and dates and stuff. Who knows? But I will be painting up my Bretonnian army. It will be majestic, I hope, etc. Now, I'm going to try the refresh again. Usually, okay, here it is. I found it. Copy this link. Okay, are you ready? Hold on to your horsies. I just need to do... Oh, hello. Just chatting. It has studio mode. Gets in game. Ah! Here we go. All right, folks. I've had to shrink the page down, so bear with me. But hello and welcome to another Sunday preview. It is the 7th of January 2024. And we got another Sunday preview. The Siege of Terror reaches its climax. It's the first Sunday preview of 2024, so it is. And while we're all easing into the process of remembering to write 2024 rather than 2023, you can pre-order this selection of products from Age of Sigmar, Blood Bowl, and Black Library from next Saturday. What do we see here? Hey? Is this a rat? Ratus? By any chance? I suspect it is. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's have a butcher's. Obviously, we don't really click these things. I will put this link into the article of the video. So if you're watching this video after the fact, we've gone live. Firstly, make sure that you've liked, subscribed, hit the bell for notifications so you can watch me live in future. But also, you'll be able to check the video description and get the link directly from that. So, on y va. Trug. The Troggoth King. Hasn't he already been out? Isn't this geezer already out? What? Trug is an ancient and ornery Troggoth with a magical migraine, or migraine, brought on by a strange altar that lodged in his back after a whole city collapsed around his sleeping form. Pronounced King of the Troggoth by Braggett the Rabble-Rouser, Trug now smashes his way around the mortal realms, trying to put a stop to the headache that hammers at his little Troggoth brain. As he swats and claws at the altar on his back, it unleashes torrents of arcane power that empower him with the magic of the realms. Okay, then. You would have thought he would realize. I know they're not too smart, but you would have thought at one point he'd reach up and maybe scratch and then go, ooh, what the hell's this? Okay, then. We got Ionis Cryptborn as well. Look at this geezer. Here's a chaplain for 40k waiting to happen. It's also a pretty sweet mini, actually. Yeah. Ionis Cryptborn is one of the first and most powerful Stormcast Eternal heroes, a mighty Lord Relictor, who has fought alongside the Hammers of Sigmar since the Realmgate Wars. Ionis has spent long years searching for a cure to the effects of repeated reforging, befriending the ancient Stormdrake Thorak in the process. Now, in an hour of great danger, he returns to help Vandus Hammerhand and the Twin-Tail Crusade in their battle against the evils of the world. And he's got a scaly friend who can breathe gouts of soul-burning fire to fight alongside him, excuse me. Okay, then. We've got Belthanos, First Thorn of Kurnoth. Oh, it's this guy on this bug thing. Righty-ho. When the Twin-Tail Crusade was beset by savage ogre gorges in the realm of life, it was Belthanos who burst from the verdant thickets of Giran to save the day. Carrying a spark of the Sylvaneth god of the hunt with him, the First Thorn of Kurnoth rides the Carnelian Greatspite, striking from the head of the Evergreen Hunt alongside savage Kurnoth hunters and swift Spite Rider cavalry. Okay, so there's one of the... what are they called again? I've already forgotten these ones. What are these things? Sylvaneth? Yeah. So you got the Sylvaneth bug thing. Okay, and we've got Blood Bowl. Skitter Stab. What an amazing name that is right there. Skitter Stab proves that you really can take those transferable skills and make them work in diverse arenas. Initially trained as a clan Ishin assassin, this verminous varmint now plies his trade on the gridiron. He's fairly handy with a ball, but has become notorious for particularly violent tackles that leave his opponents mortally indisposed. This star player can join Favored of and Underworld challenge teams, is made from forgeworld resin, and comes with rules in the box. Okay, then. Well, also that would make a pretty sweet I guess Age of Sigmar Skaven Assassin mini, because that's what he is. It's Forgeworld resin, sweet Forgeworld, as we know and love it. And then what else do we have? We have Grashnak Blackhoof. That's a sweet pose. The sledgehammer to Skitter's scalpel. Grashnak Blackhoof is a brutal bruiser who comes out on blocks against even the strongest players on the pitch. His horns let him plough through the sturdiest of cages, disrupting scoring plans left and right. Though dotted with cornate motifs, Grashnak is a free agent for any favoured of team. He is cast in sweet forgeworld resin and comes with rules. I'm glad he comes with rules. It would be disappointing if he didn't. Maybe also if you have a Beastman army, potentially he can make an appearance in that somehow. I don't know. I've never really had a Beastman army. Occasionally I've been tempted to summon one, but has yet to actually happen. Anyway, so that's there's another Blood Bowl. Okay, do we have... Oh, here we go. Siege of Terror, The End and the Death of Volume 3 by Dan Abnett. The third volume of Dan Abnett's epic climax to the Siege of Terror, and the whole of the Horus Heresy itself is almost here. The third and final volume will be available to pre-order next Saturday, and this massive tome brings the whole saga to its grim and inevitable conclusion. I wonder what's going to happen. Do we know? Do we know what's going to happen? By any chance? That's a mighty looking tome. I am very glad that I didn't start collecting the hardback sort of special edition covers and stuff like that. As fancy as they look, I would be so miffed if I'd missed one and had to suffer with a regular hardback or indeed a paperback version of it. It would frustrate me no end, which is why I like if sort of somehow getting one's hand on stock was a bit more reliable, then it's okay. But I got into these books way too late, so I'll be holding out for the paperback. Thankfully, I have patience and many miniatures to keep me tided over until then. Just like previous Siege of Terror books, The End and the Death Volume 3 will be released as a special edition with a leather effect cover featuring a metal icon, gold foil cover text, gilt page edges, and a red ribbon bookmark. Inside you'll find full colour art of the regular cover, black and white character art, as well as the author's signature. These are limited to just 2,500 copies. That is a pretty fantastic illustration on the inside cover right there. Or maybe it's the... I suspect that's the inside cover rather than the back cover. Inside bit. That's a pretty sweet illustration right there. Wish I could illustrate. I'm terrible at it. Oh well. Siege of Terror, The End and the Death of Volume 3. The final confrontation draws near. The Emperor will fight his son and the Siege of Terror will end. This dramatic denouement will also be available to pre-order in hardback, ebook, and audio book formats. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to hold fire on those. Ebooks just... And audiobooks, I struggle with. I will listen to them, but they're definitely not my preferred format. I do listen to them at sort of 1.2 speed or something. It makes it slightly easier to listen to, but it's just still goes in one ear and out the other, unfortunately. I can't seem to sort of remember what I've heard. It's not great. But that's good. I'm glad they're coming out in regular hardback, ebook, and audiobook formats. We have the Horus Heresy Siege of Terror bookmark. It says on it, on the 13th day of Secundus, the bombardment of Terror began. How big are these? Making your way through the whole Horus Heresy series, Siege of Terror included, is no mean feat. But with this stylish enamel and metal bookmark, you'll never lose your place in one of these action-packed tales. I just like a regular. What I do is I just try and remember the page, but otherwise I use just a regular sort of like thin bit of cardboard or something like that. These ones with weighted bits on them up here, I find to be very weird. I don't fully like them. I don't like the idea of them as bookmarks for some reason. It's a strange thing. It's I don't know why. But yeah, I don't think I'll be getting one of these. You used to use receipts. Yeah, exactly. That also works. Receipts work. Like obviously, like if it's a book I'm reading consistently, like there are some books I absolutely blitz through and I can't get enough of. I remember those pages easily. Other books I try and remember the page, and usually I get it vaguely right, but I'm like, oh no, I'm a bit ahead of that and find it quite quickly. Obviously, an actual bookmark gets me where I need to be straight away. So a bit of paper or a slim bit of card, that's fine, which fits within the pages. I don't like bits of cardboard overhanging the book for some reason. I'm not keen on it. So this kind of style thing just irks me somehow, which is absolutely fine, obviously. And then we got Warhammer Plus stuff, which we don't do yet. We are working on the dreaded the viewer hours at the moment. We are currently, as of what are we? Today? What are we on? We're on 2,600 public watch hours. So we've got 400 watch hours to 397 watch hours, excuse me, is that right? 397 watch hours to complete before we get us sort of over our first hurdle of monetization, which will be a great thing. I am trying to think of videos to do that are not like article reads and stuff like this, slightly more actually hobbying, but it's rather hard to do when your room is like this at the moment. So I'm going to try and figure something out. I would like to do an unboxing of the Bretonian video, of the Bretonian box. Obviously there are videos out there for people who've already GW have already hooked them up with those boxes, but if you'd like to support your local friendly YouTuber, then we will be doing a Bretonian unboxing video at some point. I have discovered though that my brother is appearing that weekend. It arrives, so I won't be able to record anything that weekend, but that Monday definitely will be a challenge to jam that bookmark into your Kindle. Yeah, I personally, the Kindles, I think I would get one for, like, if I was flying, doing a lot of flying, I would definitely get a Kindle. If I had a long holiday or something like that and I wanted to do a decent amount of reading, a Kindle would definitely be the way forward for me, rather than carrying around a stack of, I don't know, 3 books or something, which goes against your cursed sort of the weight allowance on aeroplanes and stuff. But I've never actually purchased a Kindle. I have read one entire time, and I did like the how it looks, like the screen on it. I think the screen looks great. So that's that. Basically, this coming Saturday, you get a couple of Blood Bowl heroes, or whatever you want to call them. And also, you get... I already thought he was out, truth be told. I don't know why. I already thought he was out as well. I don't know why. And I already thought he was out. Also, I don't know why. Maybe they were just... Were they spoken about at that convention? The... what's that? What was that big... not convention... I've forgotten its name. Maybe they talked about it then, and then that was it. And then obviously the big book, wrapping up the Horus Heresy trilogies. Right, well, the book, bunch of books. Am I going to be ordering anything? No, I'm not. It's a pretty, thankfully, I'm going to be ordering absolutely nothing. I spent a decent chunk on that Bretonian box yesterday. I'm very happy not to have to worry about stuff coming up. But I know there are people out there who like Blood Bowl. and indeed Age of Sigmar. So maybe one of those might be tickling their sort of taste buds in that regard. Is there anything else? What happened there? Did I just open up another link? I'm not entirely sure. So we did on Thursday, we do a Horus Heresy Thursday live stream at 2 p.m. UK time. It's probably going forward. It's going to be Horus Heresy Thursday and or the Old World. We're going to kind of merge that stream into like a bit of both potentially, so we can get a couple of different topics covered at the same time, which would be a good thing, and into one stream. I don't really think there's much else. What was there? What are they called? That company that did not Indomitus, Imperium. Is it Imperium magazine? That monthly one, or that weekly one, excuse me, where you get a bunch of miniatures sent to you once a week by Hatchet Partworks. They are doing, as I understand it, they are firing up they're doing testing the waters. I don't know when it starts. I don't know when. I need to probably have a look at it. It's going to be doing a bunch of combat patrols, as I understand it. Hatchet. I don't know if they're going to be. How many combat patrols would they be doing? Was it 7 or something? Maybe 7. 7 combat patrols. I'm semi-tempted. I think it might be a good way for people, if they want to get a bunch of different sort of almost starter armies or something like that. I don't really know if GW have done anything with the game format combat patrol. I don't play the game, so I don't really know. It's probably something I should really look into. However, if for someone who's more interested on the painting side of things and the hobby building side of things, then it could be very interesting. If you want to paint a bunch of different things, I think it's a great thing to have a variety of things to paint rather than just consistently painting the same models over and over again or the same army. I personally like to sort of paint a unit up, then paint a character or maybe another unit from a different army or something like that. Or I would say at this point, Warhammer Underworlds, I think those little war bands of between, was it 3 and 7 miniatures? I think those are a fantastic thing. And I always kind of recommend those to people as either a sort of a potential way into Age of Sigmar and also like a sort of a palette refresher almost. I think they're absolutely fantastic minis. And I generally do my best to get my hands on them. Obviously, I've missed them occasionally. Not the end of the world. But the last one I got, I think, was basically the Witch Hunter Warband from Mordheim, the one with the 2 dogs and things. I did a tutorial, in fact, on how to paint. I think I did a short tutorial on how to paint the Fire and indeed Rat Spike. If I can remember, hopefully I can come back and get my hand in the right place. Where are we? And link up here. There might be a link appearing up there to one of those tutorials going forward. Now, let me scratch my nose a little bit and then we can change to this page. It's weird. Oh, that's why there's no noise, because I'd muted it. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, you can see right here my Death Guard army. Basically there are these destroyers. I say they're destroyers, they're assault company, but I would like to make them into I like the idea of making them into destroyers with double flamers, double alchem flamers, in fact, for Death Guard. They're awesome models in the starter set. Yes. Wait, hold on. The starter set for what? Reno. Let's just go on to the same starter set for Underworlds? Underworlds. In fact, we can go back to... Hopefully. We can have a very quick look at the Warhammer page. Hopefully, it should have changed. Yes? Yes! So you get these geezers. Who are we? Okay, let's go look at these larger pictures rather than that way. So you do... I mean, for 40 Benjamins, or if you go to sort of somewhere like Element Games, you can get this sort of thing a lot cheaper using my affiliate link. Hopefully the affiliate link will actually appear there, as it did. So you could potentially get this for even less than £40. Since they're push fit, they're a bit of a pain to build. Yeah, I've always found the push fit ones to be a bit of a nightmare. I usually end up clipping off the posts entirely and just gluing them together normally. It's been a while since I've painted a Stormcast, though. Maybe 2024 we shall have a look at that and see if we can resolve that situation. The thing is, they're armored. Obviously, you know, they're sort of fantasy. But, you know, I paint, or at least I will be getting back to painting a lot of Space Marines. Do I really need to be painting more of this sort of armor? Maybe. I certainly won't be building up an army of them, that's for sure. However... one of my all-time favorite kits from Warhammer Underworlds. I can't remember the name of it, but these Skellies, absolutely love this kit. This warband was great. You only get... how many do you get in this warband? £30 an element. Bargain. Absolute bargain. 2-player game. You want to, if you're new to the hobby or Warhammer in general, absolute bargain. That's less than a night out drinking, or I don't know, 2 tickets to the cinema, which last 2 hours. 2 hours of watching a miserable film, where you could get many hours of playing with, I was going to say, a loved one or a good friend. And yeah, so you get these 3 of these things. They get sort of weird crossbow guns, an axe of some variety. This guy gets a sword. His name was Captain... I've forgotten his name. I know he's got an of the something guard, I think. I love painting these minis. They were a lot of fun. Maybe in the future I'll get them again, and Captain Underpants, something like that. Yeah. This guy, I think I remember. I like painting this one as well. Very snazzy, and he was... I mean, these kind of remind me of the ones from... oh, God. Was it... and not the Golden Fleece. Was it the Golden Fleece? I want to say Sinbad, but that name's wrong. Help me. Jason and the Argonauts, maybe? Ray Harryhausen? Yeah. I had tea with Ray. Mum had an old friend. This is when I was in the States doing, like, studying special effects. My mum's friend lived opposite Ray Harryhausen in London, and basically Mum was telling her about it, and she said, "Oh yeah, mate, we'll come over for tea in the summer. We'll invite Ray over, and they can have a chat." And we did. It was fantastic. Ray, a very, very nice chap, invited me over to his house, to his office. And basically I saw the skeletons. He had them in little, like, glass cabinets. Who did I see? I saw the skeletons. I saw Medusa. One of the King Kongs, I believe. I think I saw Talos, which is one of my all-time favorite monsters. Yeah. I wish I could remember entire the conversations that we had, but it was crikey, 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago that happened, so it's been a while and I've forgotten. But he was a very, very nice chap. And seeing the original stop-motion animation miniatures was a fantastic thing. This one was cool, with the scythe. And he's just waking up, ready to have a great old time. So yeah, Warhammer Underworlds, I always do kind of suggest it if people are into like more the fantasy side of the game, and they want to sort of check it out. It's a good way to sort of try different armies, not necessarily different ways to paint armies. You know, you can work on color schemes and stuff like that. I mean, you might get this and realize you absolutely hate painting armor like this. You want to paint skeletons or fleshy things instead. And this armor would be like, no, Stormcast, I don't want to do them. Or you might love it. You know? That's my opinion on it. I have many opinions and they're all absolutely correct. But Underworlds is a great thing. Anyway, let me get back to my face because that is the most important thing in the world ever. I pressed the button right? Yes, I did, thankfully. Yeah, so that's basically all I gotta say. That's it's not a massive amount of releases this coming Saturday, which it makes sense. We've had the old world appear. And as I said, these will become my Death Guard. Hopefully I'm going to be able to build some of them. Imperial Fists, right here. I am doing a armored spearhead thingamajiggle. And we've also got Leviathan here. I've painted up a bunch of the Tyranids. I don't know if I've done a tutorial yet, but I think I have the footage for one of them. Hopefully we'll be able to get that done. And the Terminators and Stern Guard within that box set are actually going to end up for my Ultramarines. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with the Bernie Boys yet. I guess we'll have to figure it out. I like that it's a small outlay before pay instead of building an army and painting before playing. Yeah, absolutely, Reno. Yeah, that is also a very good point. You don't want to be putting down £300 or £400 or whatever it is in your currency, and then realizing that A, you hate how the army plays, and B, you don't like painting them. In fact, I would say at this point, if you're looking at getting into a game, maybe consider, well, you have a couple of options. Either going to your local games workshop or hobby club, gaming club, and seeing if they'll do a demo game for you. That's one way. Secondly, Tabletop Simulator. You can get it on Steam or probably maybe something else. And you could play a virtual game with a friend or someone who knows what they're doing and see if you like kind of how that feels. Obviously, it's virtual and not the same, but it should get you the vibe of what's going on and how that army plays that you might be interested in playing. That's my thought on it. If you have other thoughts on it, do let me know in the comments below. I do read comments. At least I do read the nice ones, and I actually respond to the nice comments. I generally ignore the nasty comments because, yeah, got more important things to be doing. However, don't forget to smash the like button on this video. Also, make sure you subscribed and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I'm going live next. And I can tell you for a fact, I'm going live on Thursday at 2. There we go, here. Tomorrow we have the architect coming around. I've got to have a chat with him about the studio so I can tell him I need a bit here partitioned off for 3D printers. It needs to be basically as airtight as possible so I don't get fumigated. And also we need a decent table and basically a bunch of storage for all the stuff in the studio where I'll be painting and hopefully making painting tutorials for both YouTube here and also my website at gloriousminiatures.com, where I will be doing website only, sort of membership only videos for painting miniatures. That is a long-term plan. It's really just waiting on multiple things to sort of fall in place for it to happen, though. But I am working on the website at the moment. I've spent most of yesterday trying to work on the terms and conditions of both 3D printing when the shop goes live, and also commissions when they go live. I want to get the terms and conditions written out properly, so that both sort of you're covered and I'm covered, and we all know where we stand when it comes to both commissions and purchases from my web store. And I've also started working on the about page, which is giving me a headache. So that's fun. And that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say, folks. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Sunday. It has been a long old day. I hope you all have a good rest of your Sunday. I'm streaming tomorrow at 7 p.m. over on Twitch at twitch.tv/gloriousbadger. I'll be playing some 7 Days to Die there, so if that's your jam, do make sure to come and swing by. I've got the Horde Night to deal with, so that should be fun. And that's all I got to say. Do check out my Discord as well. If I can quickly locate the Discord button right there. And also, I'm going to say it, I also have a throne thing. If Nightbot decides to actually wake up and do the links, I do have Throne, which is a way if you want to support the YouTube channel with either painting products or indeed miniatures to paint in the future. I've only got one large miniature there currently, which is ridiculous, but I will have add some more reasonable things in the future. Discord is public and private, so there is a sort of public section, and I also got a sort of Twitch subscriber thing only at the moment, which I try and keep my eye on as much as I can during the day when I'm not sort of concentrating on work, etc. So if that's your jam, do make sure you're joined up on Discord, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, and goodbye.